Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Angel.
We're owners of the Mickle Team, a real estate team here in the North Dallas suburbs, Plano, Allen, Frisco, and McKinney. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in this area, hey, look us up. In this video, we're going to talk about the closing costs that you can expect to pay for in Dallas and in the Texas area. I know a lot of states, they're very different. So pay attention and we'll walk you through them.
Buying a house is very exciting, but has anyone shown you how much it costs to purchase a house?
Buying a house without knowing your budget's like painting a house without knowing the colors.
Knowing these figures will make you a wise decision. The truth is good deals go fast. When you know your numbers, then when the good deals come along, then you take advantage of it without hesitation. So in this video, I want to walk you through the closing costs so you're more prepared. That the most important question people always ask is, how much is my down payment? Does it really cost 20% every single time? So the first thing is to chat with your lender to see what loan programs fit your needs. We have seen down payment as low as 3%, it's conventional loan, all the way to as much as you want to put down, or all the way just cash.
When you go under contract in the state of Texas, you're going to have two checks that we surrender right away. One is the option fee. The option fee check is a negotiated amount of money of $100 to $500 that's surrendered directly to the sellers of the home. That is our consideration for being able to do our inspections, our due diligence, make sure we want the house. If we choose not to move forward with it, that money will be theirs to keep. If we do move forward with it, it locks down the house for us to do all of those negotiations, inspections, and continue forward so nobody else can take the house. The earnest money fee that we turn over is usually, it's a negotiated amount as well, but usually about 1% of the purchase price of the home. That's surrendered over to the title company, and that starts our process. The tradition is that in the event that we were to walk away from the home for a reason not delineated in the contract, that should pay for about 1 month's worth of expenses for that homeowner in consideration for taking the house off the market. But as you know, a good realtor is going to work really hard to protect that money for you. So that money will go towards the down payment, the closing costs, and other expenses that you incur at the closing. So during that option period, you're going to want to get your home inspections in and make your own due diligence to make sure that the house is in the condition that we expect it to be in for the purchase price that we're making. The inspection costs are usually, give or take, from $300 to $500, depending on what you choose to do. And then sometimes we'll want some follow-up inspections, like a foundation inspection, electrical inspection, or an HVAC inspection, in which case we may have to incur some of those costs, or depending on the circumstances, may seek to negotiate for the sellers to pay for some of those inspections.
So what are prepaid items? I'm sure you hear that all the time. When your lender talks to you, you're like, what is that? So prepaid items are the items that your lender will have to collect at closing so that they could pay at the end of the year for your taxes and insurance. And they usually collect about 3 months of cushions in there.
So one of the biggest expenses that you're going to get into on the closing costs is the title costs. Now the biggest one of those is the title policy. It's usually about 0.7 of 1%. There's a matrix to it, but that's the closest that you can get as a rule of thumb. Most of the time that's a negotiable expense, and it's usually going to be paid for by the seller. Now, in the event that you're buying a foreclosure or a brand new build, a lot of times they'll push that back to the buyer. The rest of the title costs are miscellaneous fees. There's an attorney doc prep fee that usually runs about $250, a title process fee that's usually around $350 for each side, the buyer and the seller. These are non-negotiable fees that come in and they're going to cover with every single deal, regardless of whether you're buying a house for $1,000 or $1 million. Doesn't matter, fixed costs usually run a little under $1,000. The next thing that you're going to run into is really the loan fees, and that's going to be lender specific and depend a little bit upon what type of loan process that you're in. But there's going to be a loan origination fee, a processing fee, and doc prep fees that are going to be from the lender. You really need to discuss those fees with your lender so that you'll know what they are for you and your home. The next important fee to look at is the HOA fees. Not every neighborhood's going to be in an HOA, but a large number of the nicer, newer homes in the North DFW suburbs are going to be in an HOA. When you're in an HOA, there's going to be an HOA transfer fee and sometimes a few other fees that are negotiated on those. We're always going to try to negotiate for the seller to pay for the bulk of those fees, but there are a few that do come back on the buyers that we can't have the sellers pay for by law. We find it really important to know these costs up front so that you don't run into any unforeseen surprises and that you're not thrown for any loops at the closing. Knowing these costs is really, really important before we jump into the car and start looking at houses so you know what you've got to come out of pocket with.
When this closing cost up front is going to better prepare you how much cash you need to bring to the table.
We don't like bad surprises when we get to the closing table and money that we didn't expect to have coming out of our pocket. So knowing these expenses up front helps you to avoid those, and we will help you to avoid those as well by talking to us, the title company, and your lenders before we get too far down the process of looking for your home.
Any questions, please let us know. And I'm Angel.
I'm Chris, and we're the Mickle Team here in the North Dallas suburbs of Plano, Allen, Frisco, and McKinney. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, hit the subscribe button and look us up.